Every disappearance begins with a presence, and his presence was everywhere. Skyscrapers with his name, corporations under his control, a fortune built from ambition, deals and silence. He was untouchable, unstoppable, unforgettable, until suddenly he was gone. The last time anyone saw him was ordinary. A private jet, a meeting behind closed doors, a handshake that meant more than it looked, and then nothing. No calls, no sightings, no trace. It was as if the billionaire had never existed. The disappearance sparked theories. Some said he fled, running from debts, lawsuits, enemies. Others believed he was taken, silenced for knowing too much, and some whispered he staged it, erasing himself to live free in the shadows. Each theory more impossible, each theory more believable, because billionaires don't just disappear unless they want to. He had everything to lose: a billion-dollar empire, a reputation built on iron fists and harder deals, a life of luxury. Then why let it all go? Why vanish without a trace? What could be the reason? Well, here's one, or here's another, or maybe this one. Because with great wealth comes great enemies. And he made plenty of them. Governments he defied. Corporations he outplayed. Cartels he undercut. Each one powerful, each one with motive, and in the end, no one knew whether he ran from them or with them. But there's another kind of disappearance, one that has nothing to do with enemies. It's personal, it's quiet, it's planned, and the billionaires seem to have vanished into thin air. But the truth often hides in plain sight. You just have to know where to look. And the look leads us here, to the heart of the city, to a place where glass meets sky, where power brokers play their deadly games. Welcome to my channel. Money leaves, traces, hidden accounts, transfers offshore, shell companies with no real purpose. The trail showed billions moved quietly, methodically, days before he vanished. This wasn't chaos, it was planning. The billionaire didn't disappear, he escaped. But what's the point of escaping if you don't have a plan? So where did he go? The Caribbean, the Maldives, the French Riviera, somewhere far from creditors, from enemies, from the eyes of the world. But money buys you more than just properties. It buys you people, loyal ones, discreet ones, ones who can keep secrets buried forever. And he had plenty of those. His own people, his own enforcers, his own ghosts. There are two certainties in this world: death and taxes, and in the end, both caught up with him. The tax man always arrives eventually, even for billionaires. So he moved his money, not just for escape, but also for legacy, for his family, for his future. They say he stashed billions in offshore accounts, enough to make his descendants multi-billionaires. If that's true, then somewhere, somehow, the billionaire lives on. Billionaires don't disappear without reason. They disappear with purpose, with planning, with precision, and in the end, none of it mattered. Not the money, not the power, not the plans, because nothing lasts forever. Not even $1 billion. They say nothing is certain in life except death. Well, that's not true. There's at least one thing that's certain: the truth. It may never be known. Maybe he faked his death. Maybe he lives on an island somewhere. Maybe he's buried in an unmarked grave. But one thing is certain: his disappearance wasn't a mystery. It was a message that with enough money you can escape anything, even existence itself. So where is he now? Dead or alive? Buried or free? The billionaire who disappeared remains a legend, a warning, a myth. Because in the game of wealth and power, the rules are simple. Do whatever it takes to stay on top, because once you fall alone. And in the fall, you might just vanish. And when you disappear completely.